Radio.
The following program was paid for by the host. The views and opinions on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JBC Broadcasting, management, or its sponsors.
You have Power Radio with attorney Justin Clark on Florida Man Radio.
Do you swear to tell the truth? The whole truth? And nothing but the truth?
You want answers? You want answers!
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
And welcome to the program. It's a Monday night edition of You Have Power Radio. I am your host, Justin Clark, protecting you, the consumer, from the evils of corporate America. We bully the bullies. And the phone lines, well, they are now open. All you have to do is call 321-339-1055. Also, don't forget to watch the television programs this weekend and every weekend Saturday, 12:30 p.m. over on CBS. It is You Have Real Estate with me, Justin Clark. And then Sunday morning at 10 a.m., TV 27. It is Behind the Law. You can also stream this program by going to floridamanradio.com or download the Florida Man Radio app. You can also always listen to us over on the iHeart app. But first, the team to my right, we're missing somebody today. Mick Dolan, ladies and gentlemen, is drinking somewhere in Tennessee. He is on vacation heading to his 50th high school reunion. If that doesn't age you, I mean, it's pretty easy. You go 50 plus 18, 50 plus 19 maybe, and you're like, we know your age now. He is going to his 50th high school reunion in Kansas. He's driving. I believe that if you can drive yourself to your 50th reunion, you're doing something right. It's like hitting your score or your age in golf. You know that you're really doing something well when you can shoot your score in golf. But that means the beautiful Briana is here a little bit closer to me today. Briana, how are you?
Awesome. How are you, Justin?
I'm doing very well. Everyone had a good weekend, I presume?
Absolutely.
Anything crazy happen with you?
Honestly, no. What about you?
No, totally boring, lame. I went to a horse show on Saturday, went to the office, kind of chilled out yesterday. Nice. I wasn't ready for Monday to really get here, to be honest with you.
Yet here we are.
But it's almost over. Eric Stacy's here. EC, what's up, baby? How are you?
Everything's good.
Anything crazy? On Friday nights, you work here till midnight.
Yeah,
Did we miss anything? Do you think this place is haunted?
No, but I know I scare the hell out of the security guards in here because
Why?
there's nobody else in this building.
Yeah, right.
And then all of a sudden I start coming out of the bathroom or I start going out the front door or into the parking lot, and I'm the only person there. So, these guys have been sitting all, since probably
I haven't seen a soul.
10 o'clock, they haven't seen a soul. And then all of a sudden just people start wandering around through things and they're hearing banging and stuff like that. So they may think it's haunted.
Could be. 321-339-1055 if you want to join us here in the studio.
And now it's time for the opening statement. This should be interesting.
There is one investment tool out there that I can almost guarantee you is going to come back and haunt you. I can almost guarantee you it's even worse than going to that car dealer and buying a brand new car. Yeah. It's even worse if you try to get out of this so-called investment because the people who are going to help you get out of it are also looking to take advantage of you, and that is timeshare. Now, living in Orlando, I almost feel like I need to watch my back or hire security if I really want to sit here and talk about timeshare, because timeshare is a really big thing here in Orlando. But nationwide, timeshare is a $9.2 billion industry. And just so you can compare, Major League Baseball, total, $9 billion. The music industry in the United States, $8 billion. And yes, timeshare is doing $9.2 billion a year of your money. And I'm just not so sure that this is a great investment. In fact, I'm fairly convinced that almost every time it is a terrible investment. You know what timeshare is. It's you come and stay at this hotel and you get 2 nights for free, or you get 2 Disney tickets, and all you have to do is come listen to our little sales pitch for 90 minutes. Well,
90 minutes.
Why does that 90 minutes inevitably become 8 hours? And why inevitably do I walk out buying something when I'm half snickered on Coronas to begin with, And now I just spent $20,000 on some points that I can go rent a hotel next year on the 3rd week of September? Timeshare. Timeshares are a terrible investment almost every single time. Well, we brought a good friend here with us. He's with Sapphire Timeshare Cancellation, Mark Anderson. Mark, welcome to the show. How are you, sir?
Thank you. I'm fantastic.
How in the world have timeshares come in and convince so many of us that this is a good investment? Like, what are they doing at these performances or these demonstrations that are supposed to only last 90 minutes? How are they suckering us in?
Lies, deceit, I would say.
What are they doing? Like, how do they really get us to pull out our wallet and give them 10 grand or 20 grand or 30 grand right there on the spot?
Well, most people are brought in by the freebies. You know, just you're saying the tickets, and then they prey on the memories. You know, the family, the never-ending vacations, and the upgrades, and the common vacation that everyone can go to. You know, is not common for them. They have the Hiltons. They have the big vacation spots.
321-339-1055. Justin Clark here talking to Mark Anderson with Sapphire Timeshare Cancellation. So I think many of us believe that timeshare is you literally go buy this one particular unit in this one particular location and you get it, you know, the 4th September of every year. But it's not like that anymore, right? It's points now mostly. Explain that to me.
Correct. You know, originally, or sometimes in some cases, they have deeded, and it was like a property. They're selling you as an actual vacation property at a unit number and everything, like you were getting like a cottage, let's say. But now it's a points package. They can sell it multiple thousands of times over, and they don't have to reserve that 1 week for you anymore. So now they've upgraded to these points where now they can balance it and budget it based on who you are, profile you, the predatory lending, and just keep upgrading you over and over again. Timeshare
is, there's several ways. They make it very easy to purchase them on the spot. But my understanding is a lot of times they will help you apply for credit cards to put the timeshares on as well. How does that work?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They will route the deposits or even the total balance of the timeshare. And then, you know, obviously say, we'll give you more points, we'll give you more bonus weeks by opening up this Barclays or opening up whatever, maybe even a PayPal account with credit financing. And really, they're just rolling the entire balance onto a high-interest credit card. And really, at the end of the day, you're paying double interest. You're paying interest at the resort, and you're paying interest at the financial institution.
What are some of the free things that they promise us to agree to come take this tour? What free tickets? Is it free stays? What are they normally promising us?
Food, shows. Sometimes cruises, depending on where they are, but generally nothing that would excite the normal person. It's the hype. You're there. You're into the moment, and when everything seems to be doubled, right, it seems a lot better than what it really is.
321-339-1055. We're talking timeshare sales, and really we're going to talk about how to get out of that timeshare that you already purchased when you were, again, 3, 4, 6 Coronas deep. You're trying to have a good vacation, and now you're regretting doing that. Briana, where did you work in your previous life?
Oh, my previous life, I worked at a resort.
What were you doing?
Stuff.
Timeshare sales. Eric, she worked in timeshare sales. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I have a lot of friends that do it, honest to God.
She was not proud of that, though. You had to work that out of there to say she didn't even want to say that word. Yeah, I worked at a resort. I was a salesperson for a resort.
Look, I have a lot of respect for people who are out there trying to make a living and they go work at timeshare because it is such a huge industry, especially for those of us in Central Florida. And it is something that you can make a lot of money at pretty quickly, it seems like, as long as you're good at sales. But I am nervous about how this whole pitch really goes. Briana and Mark, both of you, describe, because I've never been through one of these. I'm just paying for my own hotel that night, or I'm going to buy my own food. I'm not doing the 90-minute show. Explain how it works. I'm a guest that comes in. I'm staying on property. And I sign up for this 90-minute, what do we even call it? What is this? Tour?
Welcome breakfast.
A welcome breakfast. Welcome.
An expensive one.
Welcome to hell breakfast. All right, so how does it work?
You come in like anything else. You get your breakfast, which is, you know, depending what resort you're at, but it's continental in style. And you sit down at the table.
So I'm not even getting the eggs or anything. This is continental breakfast.
Yeah.
So I don't even get. There's not even an omelet station or anything.
Your bagels.
I mean, I could stay at the Hampton Inn and get some free cinnamon buns.
Something.
You know what I mean?
You could quickly turn over.
Oh, all right. So the welcome breakfast.
We don't have chefs in there, okay?
It's only a continental breakfast to begin with. All right, and then how does the pitch go from there?
And you sit down with someone that's just really friendly. They're very nice, very personable. Like Mark said, they play up on those memories. They play up on things that are near and dear to you. If you're wearing a jersey, they'll talk about your team. If your kid has something, they'll talk to them. You know, they're very, very charming, the first person you end up talking to. And I'm sure Mark can tell you a little bit more about the 2 to 3 other people that you're going to talk to, and he'll agree that they're not as nice. they're not as personable. They're more the closers. They're the salespeople. They're the ones that come in with the facts, the figures, the numbers, and the high pressure sales tactics come into play there.
Timeshare makes me very, very nervous. I don't typically believe it's a good investment. I would like you to stay away from timeshare as much as you possibly can. 321-339-1055. Mark, all right, so I meet the first person over at the Continental Breakfast. Woohoo.
Sure.
What happens after that?
Well, I mean, you had the tour of the facility, of course, right? They bring you in, and they've explained all the perks and the benefits you're going to have, every year, for the rest of your life, your kid's life, your grandkid's life, of being able to enjoy this, the high-end quality vacation. If you have the pushback there, then, obviously they're bringing in someone additional, and maybe your ID is held hostage, meaning that's the last time you'll see your driver's license until you sign a paperwork or run out, either one of those.
Yeah.
And there's just a gauntlet after that point of just elevated stress and pressure to even one of the clients we've had, where it was an older woman that had 5 people standing around her and over her saying, just sign it, you trust us, this is a good investment for you and your grandkids. And it's a never-ending pressure.
What are we normally paying for these timeshares now? I mean, I guess it's all across the board. What's kind of average? What am I really paying when I go buy a timeshare?
I would say an average number I run into is between $25,000 and $35,000.
Oh,
like at the beginning, Right?
And then my understanding is I'm going to pay every week or every year after that as well, right? What are these fees that I pay each year after?
Well, you have a 10-year mortgage, and then your maintenance fees are for the rest of your life.
What are the maintenance fees for? Is this like an HOA, basically?
That's what they try to consider it as, but it is, ranging between $800 to $1,500, and that increases, 5 to 15% every year or biannually for the rest of your life.
How in the world do they come up with this amount?
The salespeople usually tend to make it up. That's how the numbers are figured out. They have a bottom number, and then we just go up from there.
So you're telling me when I go in there to go through this pitch, the salesperson has sort of a baseline number that they can't go below that, but if they think that I could pay more, they can actually go way above that.
Absolutely.
Really?
Profiling.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Don't show up in the nice car and the nice suit.
And then how do, later on in life, when you have to pay the yearly maintenance fee, how do they come up with that number?
It just increases. It just, as in when you originally find out, they originally get hit with the number.
What's typically an average for an HOA or for the HOA fee? I'm calling it. It's not an HOA fee though, but I guess it kind of is.
It's a maintenance fee.
The maintenance fee. What's kind of average for that per year?
$800 to $1,000.
And when is that payable?
That's due every year, usually in January.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So finally, I come and I buy my timeshare. I put it on a credit card that they were happy enough to let me apply for right there on the spot. Now I have this timeshare. I paid, say, $25,000. What do I get for that? What am I getting here? Am I getting a week? Am I getting some points? I don't know. I really don't know what I get for this money.
A glorified gym membership.
What do you mean by that?
You basically have a piece of paper which has a lot of blackout dates. The conversion, like sending it to another company, RCI Interval, the conversion is subpar at best. People that have, let's say, tens of thousands of points that they had with a Wyndham, and they go to do a conversion, they can't even get a Southwest ticket for something they've been spent $25,000 for.
Is that right?
Oh, it's horrible.
I mean, when timeshares were invented, I think the other option was a hotel, basically, But now we have Airbnb and all of these different places where you can go and rent a whole condo or something like that. I mean, what do you think is better? Even if you weren't in this business at all, what do you think is better? If I have a family, should I just go to Airbnb or should I do a timeshare?
Oh, Airbnb absolutely.
1,000 times over.
Yeah, when you're getting locked into a commitment that's a check that has no dollar amount on it, and you just sign them and just keep giving them away, or something that is a week commitment or whatnot, and you know where the beginning and the end is.
Mm-hmm. How does timeshare affect my credit?
Dramatically.
Really?
In fact, even having an account open with a timeshare that's even paid positively and good and open, mortgage brokers and banks look at that as still risk. You have an open-ended line of debt, right? That if a storm comes through and you get hit with an assessment, you can't pay for that. you get foreclosed on.
Yeah. Which is going to go on your credit. This is going to really negatively affect your credit. Like maybe you're trying to go buy a house in wherever you come here from. Your mortgage company is going to decline you from buying a house because this timeshare is showing up negatively on your credit. So, I mean, before you buy a timeshare, you really, really need to think this thing through. And I think what it is, I think we all go into this continental breakfast like Briana was describing it, thinking that we're going to say no. They all do it just to get the free night or just to get the free tickets. No one goes into this pitch saying, oh, I'm going to be the dummy who buys. They all go into it saying, oh, these people are so dumb for giving me the free tickets because I'm not buying anything. Right. But it's these same people then that somehow we get convinced into buying this timeshare right there on the spot. What percentage would you say of us that do buy a timeshare? I mean, are we buying it all right there on the spot, or are we going back and thinking about it for a couple of days and coming back?
Oh, they have like a 50% close rate of people that walk in there. Oh, absolutely.
It's up there.
How are they so good at this? I don't understand.
But if I had the ability to set a price for a product, anything I want, and I can ideally tell you anything I want to get that deal closed, how can I not close it?
Yeah, I guess valid point. 321-339-1055. Justin Clark here, talking to Mark Anderson of the Sapphire Timeshare Cancellation. And I assure you, we're going to talk a lot about how to get you out of your timeshare here in just a couple minutes. But I'm still just fascinated with how they convince us to buy these almost every time they're a terrible investment. There's almost nothing that I can think of good about them. I mean, do you ever run into people out there who say, I'm so thankful I bought that timeshare?
Very rarely.
I don't hear it.
It's 1 in a million, I would say.
What about these blackout dates, too? I always hear that people come in complaining. They go, I bought this timeshare, but I can't use it because it's blacked out every date I could possibly use it. Well, how do the blackout dates work?
Well, it's 365 days a year, and the only day you can use your timeshare is the day you bought it. Right? That's
how it works,
trick,
huh?
right? Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We'll upgrade and buy more points and have more available week spots that are available for yourself.
I mean, it seems to me since they've created this whole point system, they've really been able to take advantage of people because they'll just keep coming back and saying, oh, well, if you buy a couple more points, now you've really crossed that threshold where you're going to be able to do whatever you want, and life's really going to get good at this point. You know, used to we could understand, okay, this week is blacked out or this week's blacked out, but now with these points, it almost takes a brain surgeon to be able to figure out how many points you need to buy and when you can use them and how you can use them. That's what it seems like to me. But here's the one thing that I do know. Many of us own timeshares. There is a way out, and there is a bad way out as well. We're going to answer those questions. Get on the phone lines, 321-339-1055. It's Justin Clark. It's Florida Man Radio.
You're listening to You Have Power Radio with attorney Justin Clark.
Going to work or just taking care of your home. Daily activities that should never put you in jeopardy. Roundup Weed Killer has been linked to many cases of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Our farmers, gardeners, florists, and maintenance workers have been exposed to this toxic chemical. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma or are receiving chemotherapy as a result of Roundup exposure, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-565-4000. That's 1-800-565-4000 for a free consultation.
Think you can buy a diamond just by looking at its grading report online or on paper?
I've been buying diamonds now for 36 years, 37 years. I have never bought a diamond without looking at it.
International Diamond Center owner Keith LeClaire has a warning. Lab grading reports never tell the whole story.
You cannot buy a diamond without looking at it. I don't care if it's from me or from anybody. You look at one diamond, it's crispy and it just talks to you. It just smiles at you. Then you look at another diamond that's graded exactly the same. And you go, well, it doesn't have the same smile. You know, why?
It could be a lower quality grade of rough diamond or a prominent inclusion, or it could be hazy or cloudy.
Many of those type of diamonds that are cloudy and sleepy, you'll find them on the internet.
Versus the ones you find at IDC. Each one handpicked by the experts for maximum brilliance with sparkle, clarity, and a smile.
I look at, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of diamonds, and then I'll select a small percentage of those.
Come and find the diamond that smiles at you at International Diamond Center. 4 convenient Orlando locations.
RC Hill here from RC Hill Mitsubishi. It's time to up your standard of driving. If your old ride is unreliable, unsafe, or just plain uncool, this month I want to help you dump that junker and dive into a nice new car today. Even if you're underwater in your old ride, I'm paying way over appraised value for any car. If you owe $2,000, $4,000, or even $7,000 more than it's worth, I still want it, regardless of age, mileage, or condition. Plus, my dealer next door credit approval process is a pearl in an ocean of fishy alternatives. And you could float home for just $8 down. Get a really cool deal on a new 2019 Mitsubishi Mirage for only $9,900, or a 2019 Outlander Sport starting at $15,900. So sink that ride you hate, and you could drive for $8. That's right, you can be swimming in savings. But hurry, my accountant's a wet blanket, and he won't let this deal go on for long. I'm RC Hill, your car dealer next door. Get wet and wild at rchill.com. That's rchill.com.
Require bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. $227.46 per month for 75 months. 2.9%. Amount financed $15,542.
This is CJ, owner of Bellicoso Cigars and Cafe on North Park Avenue. If you remember the TV show Cheers, then you know what Bellicoso is all about. Making new friends, relaxing with a nice house or premium cigar, and the best coffee on Park Avenue. Plus the best selection of boutique cigars in the area. Bellicoso Cigars, Coffee, and Community on North Park Avenue in Winter Park.
The cigar of the week is the Lirio Rojo by Warp Cigars, a hand-rolled Nicaraguan puro that's medium to full-bodied. Available in limited supply, so pick one up today at Bellicoso.
Calling all first responders. You're cordially invited to First Fest, October 12th, at the Pines at Windermere. First Fest is an exclusive event for law enforcement, fire, and EMS, active or retired, support or sworn. Tickets start at just $15. Enjoy food, drinks, live music from Brian James and Spade Cooley, Lakeside Cigar Lounge, live demonstrations, and more. For tickets and event details, visit WoundedOfficersInitiative.org. October 12th at the Pines at Windermere. It's First Fest, an epic party for our hometown guardians.
Frogger's Grill and Bar. Hop in with food and fun. Come out for football, college, and NFL. And of course, wings, wings, wings. Frogger's Grill and Bar. Open for lunch every day. Located in Mount Dora, Oviedo, Apopka, Altamont Springs, and now open in Old Town.
$700 and you're behind the wheel of a better ride. At Orlando Car Deals, pay just $700 down. No credit check and drive today. Your income is your credit. Call 844-700-DOWN, 8900 South US Highway 1792 Maitland, or online at orlandocardeals.com.
Oh no, the garage door is stuck again.
Mom, we're going to be late again.
I know, we don't have time for this. I'm calling Florida Door Solutions today.
Having a faulty garage door can be time-consuming and a security risk, so don't wait another day to call Florida Door Solutions. They install a variety of garage doors, openers, and other accessories. Looking for a repair? Florida Door Solutions repairs all makes and models and offers emergency service. Call us today at 407-884-5955 or visit fladoor.com.
Hi, it's Jen. I want to tell you about my favorite boutique to shop at, Walk on Water in Lake Mary. You'll find trendy clothing, shoes, jewelry, gifts, and accessories, and get 50% off all summer clothing. The new Pandora collection is in, and check out the new bracelets and wine glasses. Roxanne and her staff at Walk on Water are the best, and they give 85% of the store profits back into the community, including Safe House. Walk on Water in Colonial Town Park Plaza. WalkOnWaterFL.com. Tell them Jen sent you.
This week, it's the Jags on Florida Man Radio.
The Jags are heading west for a Rocky Mountain High. Oh, yeah. This Sunday, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Denver Broncos from Mile High Stadium in Denver. Florida Man Radio has it live Sunday. Pregame at 3:30, kickoff at 4:25.
Central Florida's home for the Jacksonville Jaguars. 660 AM, 105.5 FM. Florida Man Radio.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America.
Now, back to You Have Power Radio with attorney Justin Clark.
3
321-339-1055, talking all things timeshare and what it's really just maybe the most terrible investment a human being can make. But now we're going to talk about how to get you out from under the timeshare that you so drunkenly purchased on your last vacation. Joined today by Mark Anderson, Sapphire Timeshare Cancellation. Hey, how do I reach out, Mark, if I have questions about my timeshare, about getting out of it? How do I reach out?
You can give us a call, 407-362-7859. You can also visit us on the web at www.sapphiretimesharecancellation.com.
And just so you know, Briana did once work in timeshare sales, so she has some insider information and knowledge here. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just, you got to point out,
Appreciate you.
You got it, baby.
Thank you.
All right, resale.
Fact checker.
One option that we have when we own a timeshare, and it seems sort of like a rational thought, because if you go buy a condo, you sell your condo, right? When you're done with it or whatever, you go sell. You buy a house, you go sell it when you're done with it. How does resale work in timeshare?
Well, even on your original presentation, the salesperson is going to tell you that you can resell it. So that's the first lie that really begins. Timeshare resale and rental industry is like a non-existent, fraudulent industry really in itself. You can go to some of the major resellers on the web, and you'll see that they have 20, 30,000 timeshares on there listed for $1. Go to eBay right now.
For $1?
Yeah, go to www.ebay.com, look at timeshares for $1, and see how many thousands are on there.
So my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, is a lot of these resellers will make the timeshare owner actually pay them to go sell it, like an upfront fee. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like a marketing cost. They list it on the website. It sits there for, I don't know, ever, and it will never sell.
What's a typical cost for this?
$700 to $1,500 your first go-around. And then they contact you again because that grouping of people that were going to buy the timeshare picked a different one. Timing was not right. And so they come back for another fee that's usually another $500 to $700.
So let's get this straight. So I've already been ripped off by buying the timeshare to begin with. Yes. Now I find another company that says, oh, don't worry, we can sell your timeshare for you. Pay us $800 in advance. And this is also a ripoff? Is that what you're telling me?
That is correct.
Are there any legitimate resale companies out there?
I haven't really found too many of them.
So really, it's just a way for these resale companies to make money, and it's very likely they're not going to sell my unit.
That is correct.
And do they go in there saying that, oh, not only are we going to sell it, we're actually you're going to make a couple bucks here. We're not selling it for $1. Do the people really think they're selling it for $1?
Well, just like 5 to 7 years ago, they would come straight forward and say, I guarantee to sell this. I have a buyer in the wind waiting to purchase this thing, tomorrow. They got away from some of those tactics just because of lawsuits, regulations, getting arrested and things like that. So now they say there's an availability. They have people. There's 5,000 people that are going to see your unit, and it should sell,
Do you ever see any sort of incest going on? And when I say incest, I mean, are any people on the timeshare sales side then do the resale side, and they're all kind of like hitting it from all different angles?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Timeshare in itself, that it's a small group of salespeople and rental resale. It's the same grouping of people that kind of go around in the same scam world, I guess.
All right, so we want to be really careful. I mean, if someone does own a timeshare now, do you ever recommend they try to resell it at all, or are they always going to be taken advantage of?
I mean, if you're going to do a resale, I wouldn't pay anything up front. And it's going to involve probably an attorney that's going to be able to draft something up. I mean, you're talking about high-end properties that are in Hawaii. Something that has, that you probably can't even get into as a normal person, and you're still going to make a major loss.
Sure. 321-339-1055. How do you get out of the nasty timeshare that you own? Resale, probably not a great idea. What about deed in lieu? I hear about deed in lieu on timeshares. Is that a thing?
Like a deed in lieu in foreclosure, that is, I think it does happen. It's dealing direct with the attorneys on when they're going to say, hey, we're going to be foreclosing on you. This is an opportunity where the resort will kind of, quote unquote, buy it back, right? Or put it back into inventory. But at that point, I mean, you still have a massive credit hit. You still have, it's not going to work out too well. But it does happen. I mean, we get those even in results in a lot of cases.
Is there any way, let's say that I paid $20,000 for my timeshare and I want to get out from under the timeshare. Is there any way to get money back, or do I need to really just focus on getting rid of it with no further damage to me?
Timeshares don't cut refund checks. So the idea of getting a refund back from them is just, I mean, you're going to have to dispute on credit cards. You're going to have to go that route if you're going to get any money back, to tell you the truth.
All right, so resale, not a great way to go. I know that you were in the timeshare cancellation business, so let's really get to it now. Let's really get to what you guys do. Someone comes in, they spent $30,000 on a timeshare. They don't want it anymore. They're tired of the $1,200 a year management fees that they're paying. They're tired of blackout dates. They want to be done with it. What do we do?
Sure. So, and speaking with us, we have to get an overview of everyone's situation because generally it is somewhat the same, but there is particulars that go on. The standard, 6-7 years ago, a lot of these exit companies would send standard form letters, and that would work. But unfortunately, multi-billion-dollar companies get up to speed with a lot of things, so specific tactics need to be done. Who is the salesperson? What's the interest rate? What actions actually happened? What statements were done, because consumer rights have been violated. Different, even individual state laws of just the way transactions are being done are being violated. Predatory lending, truth in lending. These are things that we use tactics against the resort, ranging from complaints, state attorneys, BBB. It just goes down.
Yeah, and what kind of time frame am I looking for? Let's say I come and hire you. Is this a year process normally? Is it quick? How long do these things take?
Our average turnaround time is about 6 to 9 months.
Yeah.
We do a money-back guarantee up to a year.
Oh, wow.
So if we don't get you out within that year period of time, we refund you anything you paid over to us.
Jeez.
But don't get me wrong. Some come out earlier, and some do go past the year.
Yeah.
They do. I mean, it's we have 100% transparency with our business here.
What are some of the difficult companies to work with, and maybe some of the easier ones to work with?
I would say Blue Green and Wyndham are actually two of the most difficult ones to deal with, just because they're very aggressive when it comes down to credit. They have their policies. They don't like to respond as quick as normal or as other resorts would. I would say Westgate and Diamond, I would say, are probably I wouldn't say the easier ones to get out of, but they communicate better and they negotiate better.
I've even heard that there are some companies out there that do what you guys do that have been taking advantage of people as well. So now we've had the family got taken advantage of buying the timeshare. Then they tried to resell it and got taken advantage of again. Then they hired someone like your company, not you guys. I've read your reviews. They've hired a company like you that's probably out of business at this point, paid another $5-7 grand, something like that, to get out from under it. And now all of a sudden this company's out of business or this company's not doing something. What kind of research can I do when it comes to really hiring the right company to take care of my timeshare problem?
Now you understand the massive black eye I wear when someone calls me, when they go through that whole line of that. With our industry, things that are just normal tactics that you can tell when a company is just maybe not 100% on the up and up or legitimate is when there's like review boards and things that people have to review accounts to get these things approved is non-existent. And debt pricing, meaning how much do you pay for your timeshare? How long have you owned it? And basing fees on that, and that's just really not fair. That's why we don't even ask how much it costs at the beginning. It doesn't matter. You want to check BBB reports. Check the complaints, not the positive reviews. That's usually a really good area. Don't look at third-party review sites like people that just because I can make a website. I can make a review website over the weekend. You look for strong and look for people that have insurances, bonded, business licenses. I just found out there's only not even a handful of us in the country that actually have insurance and a bond. I just thought that was ironic, but.
Where are the most timeshares sold? Is this a Vegas thing? Is it Orlando? Is it Hawaii?
I would definitely say Florida.
Florida.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Really?
Yeah. This is the Baghdad of timeshares.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Welcome to the jungle.
What about international buyers? Do you ever see any scare tactics with international buyers where they get nervous about maybe even their citizenship because of the threats they get?
Well, actually, it was very interesting. We had a whole family that was flying in. They came in from Kuwait, and they were actually concerned about their travel visa. Their resort was threatening if they don't pay, they're going to go through foreclosure, and that could hold them up from traveling back in here. And it's just unfortunate. They've been coming here for 22 years. And, it's just unfortunate that someone can't travel back with their own apartment in New York.
EC, have you ever bought a timeshare, buddy?
Nope, stay away from that.
What do you think? Do you just know you would never do it, or do you feel like you would get sucked in?
I think I would be okay with it. Mm-hmm. I have that feeling I think a lot of people do where they're like, I'm going to go do this and not get suckered into it. So that's why I don't go do it, though, because it could happen.
Have you ever taken a tour?
No.
Never?
No, I stay away from it.
And so, Briana, on the other side of things, you used to sell timeshares. Have you ever taken the tour to buy one? I want to get 2 nights free, so I'm going to take your tour.
No.
You've always stayed away from it?
Yeah.
Mark?
Yes.
You have?
I have, yes.
How did it go for you?
They are very convincing, you know. But when you pose questions such as, I can resell this, right? And they say, oh, absolutely. I said, when I went on eBay, I saw it for $1. You start noticing you're getting escorted to certain areas of the resort and not asked to come back. Because no one poses those questions. No one does the research.
No one is supposed to.
Yeah.
How long are these contracts? I mean, is it just like a one-pager, or am I literally a stack of things that I have to sign right there?
For sure. Yeah, like, what, 50 to 80 pages?
Oh.
You know?
And
they
all
flip
just
it,
right there.
And they don't read it, you know. Trust me. Just sign.
Yeah.
So do I have a better option of ending up in a cult or getting a timeshare? Because they sound like I'm going to end up doing both of them at some point there.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Basically.
Oh, yeah. 321-339-1055. How do you get out of your timeshare? Well, that's what we're asking. Mark Anderson with Sapphire Timeshare Cancellation. So I've heard this big push recently of the timeshare companies themselves actually trying to fight back with these cancellation companies like you. I mean, they must be scared, right? I mean, why are they fighting so hard?
I mean, they do like propaganda. I would say they start websites and things and their own release programs. Actually, like they actually have their own cancellation programs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's waiting lists, and it has to be approvals, and usually you have to be up to date and pay things. So really, they just buy time for you, and it's frustrating. And I feel bad for a lot of clients when they say, "No, I'm just waiting to get the approval," and I need to pay this other $1,800 to be at a zero so I can be part of the program, and knowing they're not going to get any of that back.
Wow. How are these timeshare salespeople compensated? Brianna, you might be able to help on this as well. Is this a commission deal, or are they paid hourly? How do they get paid?
It's hourly and commission.
Oh, yeah? I mean, are these like big numbers that they can make over there?
Yeah. Some of our top producers were making well over 6 figures. Yeah.
What sort of any idea what kind of percentage they're making? Let's say that they're selling one to me for $30,000. How much cash are they going to get out of that, you think?
Well, it's tiered by how much they've done, like over the whole month. But I mean, imagine looking at like a 25, let's say a 25 to 30% commission on something I'm selling for 20, 30 grand every day.
Describe, Mark, when a customer or client comes into your office. What do they look like? What are they saying? What are they complaining about?
It's usually budgets just completely out of whack there. You know, they've usually been completely beat down, you know, emotionally, really, when it comes down. And sometimes whoever's done the initial purchase, you know, they feel horrible about the whole thing to begin with. You know, it's something that has just been hemorrhaging out of their account.
Yeah.
You know, the money's gone, and now you have to give them the worst news. You're not getting any of that money back.
Yeah, really. It's gone. I mean, the best you can do is just get out from under this.
Absolutely, stop the bleeding.
Albatross, basically. It seems there are 3 different ways that people pay. They either stroke a check, either pay a mortgage to the timeshare place or whatever over the next 10 years, or they get a credit card.
Sure.
How are people paying mostly? What do you find?
Well, they'll open up that credit card, put the deposit down, and then they're going to pay. It's going to ACH right out of their account. And you're talking 15 to 24% interest. Never mind the interest on the credit card. Yeah. And usually when it gets into about the 3rd month is when it really hits. And they said, oh boy, what did I just do?
Why do the timeshare companies like to open up credit cards as opposed to just financing it?
Well, they can lock it down. There's they've already been funded 100%. Now it's in a credit card's hands where what are you going to do, stop paying that? Now you run the risk of credit. And so that's like another big one that hangs over the head of that exiting industry in itself is what do you do with someone that wants to get out with a $20,000 credit card?
Yeah. We do a ton of bankruptcy in my office, as you probably know, and I can't tell you how many bankruptcies we filed for people, mostly because of timeshare. You know, they didn't have a whole lot of other credit card debt, or their credit card debt was because they paid for their timeshare. And they're like, Justin, we can't afford to pay this $1,500 a year, first of all, going forward. Certainly can't pay our credit card debt that's $30,000 from buying the timeshare. And then we still have to pay this mortgage as well to the timeshare company. And they'll have 3, 4 of them. You know, people don't just buy one sometimes. People think this is an investment tool, and they'll go buy 3, 4, 5 timeshares, and literally it forces them into bankruptcy. Yeah, I mean, it really does. Do you see people sometimes that have multiple timeshares when they come see you?
Oh, yeah, and they do, you know, they pull out home equity loans and to pay these things off and wire the money out. So there's no recourse of chargebacks or disputes or anything, but actually absolutely multiples, especially if you owned a timeshare, you know, you're going into the 8th year on, you've probably upgraded once or twice.
All right, talk to me. 321-339-1055. Justin Clark here. We've got Mark Anderson with Sapphire Timeshare Cancellation. I need to help understanding more of this points versus weeks thing. My brain just doesn't quite work with this. I don't know why I can't figure this out. So the points mean I can go buy like a flight or a hotel or anything else, or what are the points? What do they really mean?
Well, they're going to dictate your stay, right? They're going to say, a certain amount of points is going to be 1 week, and based on
at one particular place or like any hotel in the world. How does this
in
work?
their network, whatever's in their network.
Well, it's like health insurance now.
I guess so. Right?
Okay, cool.
It's timeshare Obamacare.
So, but all right, but back in the day, a timeshare was literally you would get the one room at the one place a certain time of the year. But now timeshare, it's not that. It's points that I can use at any property typically.
Ideally, yes. It's a membership points where I can use, to go stay in, in Orlando. I can go to Vegas, and they got rid of the deeded week. They wanted to get that off because they don't want to be held accountable for that week they promised they were going to give you. Now I don't have to promise you anything.
Yeah.
Except for a piece of paper.
So what can I use the points for?
To stay there, or you can use it on some sort of conversion or an exchange rate. Which would be a horrible exchange rate. You're talking like pennies on the dollar, at best.
It's like me going to Dave & Buster's to buy stuffed animals. You know what I mean? Because it costs like $300 to win the 50 tote tickets or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's not the way to go buy stuffed animals. This is not the way to travel.
It's not. But I mean, ultimately, it's one of the biggest scams because you're preying upon a unit of measurement that people already are comfortable with. You think of points, you immediately think of something that airlines use. You think of other tools that use points, and you believe it's a really good deal. So when you take the money off the table, you're not dealing in money anymore. You're dealing in whatever fictional money we want to call it. And if it's points, you don't even realize that, like, oh, we'll give you 30,000 points, not recognizing that you're literally giving away everything.
And let's be honest with ourselves. We all travel maybe once a year or twice a year. We're all busy. We don't get away very often. And every time we're on that vacation, you're looking at the real estate listings in the community. I want to spend every summer here in Maine or whatever. I was just in Maine, not too long ago. And it's just human nature is when we're on vacation, we're in a good mood. We want to recreate this feeling. And I think that's how timeshare has us locked in, because they're going to say, oh, it's basically going to be free, and you can recreate this feeling every September 5th of every single year. But half the time, we're also drinking when we go on these tours. I mean, these tours aren't always at breakfast, Briana. I've got news for you. We're on vacation. We're out at the pool. We've had some cocktails. How are timeshare people supposed to deal with us that have been drinking? We're on vacation. What are they supposed to say? I mean, is it okay?
The legal answer is no.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But what really happens in practice?
Absolutely not in practice. Yeah, there's some people that have had a couple of drinks, but normally you come with your spouse if you're married, and you rely on the sober spouse to help make that decision.
Who do you guys find is more likely to say yes, husband or wife? Or is it 50-50? What do you think?
50.
50-50?
Yeah.
And do we allow kids on these tours as well?
It depends on which resort, honestly. There are children play areas with like Xboxes and games, and just it's really decked out, so the kids are happy because they're going to be there a while, and they know it. They know they're going to be there a while, so they're comfortable.
So when I go and purchase this timeshare, the mortgage piece, am I always going to have to put money down? Or can they sometimes say, look, you have to put no money down today at all. You're going to pay it over 10 years. Is there always something that goes down? Do you know?
Yeah, generally there's always some sort of financial exchange to put down, yeah. But remember, it'll go on a credit card.
Right.
So it's not like you're going to pull it out of your pocket right then and there.
Right.
And then this stuff goes on my credit.
Oh, yes.
So this stuff could really ruin my credit because of this timeshare. There's no doubt about it.
Well, just look at debt-to-income ratio. Yeah. I mean, I look at accounts and credit profiles, and I mean they have $216,000 worth of timeshares on there, and they're making $40,000 a year. Never mind their regular mortgage. So it's how are you expect to get ahead in life with a $216,000 mortgage for 10 years?
Talk to me about my children. Let's say I did buy a timeshare. Are my children going to be affected negatively?
There is this clause that they state of a perpetuity clause where this thing goes on for the rest of your life. But and that is a tactic that a lot of, I would say, companies use, whether it's exit, whether it's resale. But a really good probate attorney, ideally at the end, can make that go away. At the end of the day, no one can force you really to take this thing as if I'm a child and I'm going to get my family's estate. Generally, you're not going to. You'll just have to pay some money.
321-339-1055. Justin Clark here talking to Mark Anderson with Sapphire Timeshare Cancellation. All right, so I have a timeshare now, Mark. I want to get out of it. Let you help me, because you've been doing this for a while, understand what steps I can skip. I'm going to skip the resale altogether, right? That's what I'm hearing from you. Don't even waste your time. Certainly don't pay in advance for a resale company to take your money and then likely not sell it. What's the best way? What is the best way for me to get out from under this timeshare?
The best way is to go with like a company like ours to legally cancel your contract, to have a notarized release or a documented release that says you do not have any obligations to them, financial or otherwise, for the rest of your life.
And I need to, in my head, get over the fact that I'm not going to make any money back. No one's going to come give me a check for 10 grand or 20 grand for this timeshare. It's not going to happen.
No.
It's just not going to happen. You need to sort of cut bait and just be done with this thing. Bite the proverbial bullet, so to speak, because the damage is already done, but don't continue to let the damage be done year after year after year after something you're never going to use. And do you ever see, so, we have $800 a month or $1,200 a month or whatever in fees. Do you ever see special assessments on things like these?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially if you have Florida resorts. You have storms that come through and any type of structural damage or anything like that, you'll definitely see assessments.
What are some numbers you've seen on assessments? I'm sure it's not as much as you would think if you owned a condo, because you're sharing it amongst many people. But what are some typical numbers that you've seen?
Sometimes they go up into the thousands. It all depends. But I would say a good assessment is between $500 and $1,000.
Do you ever feel like there might be funny math going on with these monthly fees or monthly assessments that people have to pay?
Like the maintenance?
Yeah.
Where does it really go?
Yeah.
Where's my HOA ledger that's supposed to be going? Well, most timeshare owners have never seen one. So when you see a maintenance fee and it says, hey, this is supposed to be an HOA,
right?
If listeners have been in an HOA, you see like a ledger. Where is this budget going? Well, no one sees one. So is it going to golf planes, or what is it really going to? Because when there's damage, we have an assessment. I thought that's what my maintenance fees were for.
Yeah. Mark Anderson, Sapphire Timeshare Cancellation website, phone number. How do I reach out? I want to get out from under my timeshare. The worst investment I've ever made. Mark, how do I call you?
Yeah, 407-362-7859.
So why did you get out of the business, Briana?
Stop sleeping at night.
Because you didn't feel good about it?
No, not really, no.
What did you not feel good about? You felt like you weren't being necessarily 100% honest? Or?
Yeah, 100% forthright with people. And you see the dream that you're selling people, but you know the reality that they're going to be getting.
I always have this vision of the whole sales team doing all these jumping up and down meetings and things like that. Like, woohoo, like screaming. No? Is it like
some
that?
are. Everyone wasn't that way. I mean, most of the people that were there had been selling 20, 30 years. They're there, they're happy, they're comfortable, they're not getting out the game anytime soon.
How much pressure would you feel from upper management to sell these things?
Oh, high pressure. Pressure.
What do they say to you?
This is a high pressure situation. You have numbers that you have to meet. They, as a resort, have quotas that they're responsible for, so you're responsible for making them look good,
Timeshare cancellation. Let's not buy timeshare so you don't have to worry about this. But if you already have bought a timeshare, reach out to my boy Mark Anderson, Sapphire Timeshare Cancellation. We'll come back and wrap up a Monday night. It's Justin Clark. It's Florida Man Radio.
You're listening to You Have Power Radio with attorney Justin Clark.
Are you a business owner? First of all, thanks for listening. Hey, so if you want to find new customers, we can help on Orlando's newest radio station, WDYZ, Florida Man Radio, 105.5 and 660. Your ad could be featured right here in the morning with Bubba the Love Sponge, key placement middays in Dangerous Conversation with Ledge, or in prime PM Drive during the Shannon Burke Show. We can create a custom campaign based on your goals and budget. Drive store traffic, engage new clients, develop more leads, boost website activation, and get your cash register to ring with new business. Radio gets results, and JVC Broadcasting is at the ready to help you take your business to the next level. For more information on increasing your success, visit our website at floridamanradio.com and click on the Advertise tab. Drive store traffic, engage new clients, develop more leads, boost website activation, and get your cash register to ring with new business. Let us help you grow your business.
Reach out today. Unfiltered, unafraid. floridamanradio.com. Click on the Advertise tab. Do it now.
Hi, Nancy at Creative Floors to tell you about the new Pergo Extreme. It's not just a laminate anymore. Creative Floors is introducing the new Pergo Extreme Rigid Flooring that is a worry-free flooring solution. Pergo Extreme offers 100% kid, pet, and waterproof warranties with beautiful wood and stone patterns to choose from. Take advantage of up to $500 off for a limited time. Please visit us at CreativeFloorsOnline.com for locations where it's worth talking to the experts at Creative Floors.
Jeez, it's still hot outside.
I know. Let's crank down the AC and enjoy the indoors together. After a trip to Premier Couple Superstore, of course.
Doesn't matter what the weather is like outside. Get to Premier Couple Superstore with the largest selection of lingerie, bachelorette supplies, and novelty items. Premier Couple Superstore has what you want. Shop online at premiercouples.net. 5009 South Orange Blossom Trail, Orlando. Because a couple that plays together stays together.
Premier Couple Superstore takes you where you want to go.
Peace of mind. It's one of the most important things we have, and sometimes the most elusive. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar & Levine. If you've been injured in a slip and fall accident, call me at 1-800-747-FREE.
Office in Orlando. Great prices, great finance, and it's never been a better time to get you into that truck you've been dreaming of. With the best selection of clean, certified, pre-owned trucks to choose from, you'll feel confident in buying a Nation's truck. So visit nationstrucks.com today. That's nationstrucks.com.
Adam and Eve is not giving you 10% off and not 20% off or even 40%. Your discount is even bigger. AdamandEve.com is giving you a whopping 50% off. But why stop there? In addition to 50% off, you also get 10 free gifts. That includes a racy item for him, a sensuous toy for her, and something we know you'll both enjoy. Ooh. And 6 extra special bonus items that are sure to rev your engine, pique your curiosity, and even blow you away. And best of all, free shipping. Always delivered in discreet packaging. So rethink your bedroom routine. Go to adamandeve.com and enter this station's exclusive code at checkout, FLMAN, and get, you know the discount, 50% off almost any item and 10 tantalizing free gifts. That's FLMAN, FLMAN.
The stuffed Cheez-It Pizza is now at Pizza Hut. 4 pizza pockets stuffed with your choice of cheese, pepperoni, and baked with a toasty, sharp cheddar Cheez-It flavor. Served with marinara dipping sauce. Pizza Hut and Cheez-Its? Yes, please. For a limited time, only at Pizza Hut.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. One of the first things clients ask me is, what is my case worth? It depends on the injury, liability, and damages. And in most cases, it depends on the lawyer you hire. All lawyers are not the same. I would like to invite you to visit forthepeople.com to see what your case might be worth. You will see injuries like yours, offers made by the insurance company, and verdicts made by juries. You will have an idea what your case may be worth in our hands. We try more cases than any firm in America every year, and that's important. Insurance companies know which law firms try cases and which firms settle cheap. Your case value is different in the hands of different lawyers. I've been around now a long time, fought countless battles. We are fighters who take on giants. In some cases, you hired your lawyer without doing your research, and you can just as quickly fire them if you now think you made a mistake. You only get one swing of the plate. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Offices, Orlando.
Damn, it's hot in here. What's the deal with your AC?
I've had 2 AC companies out, and they can't get it fixed.
You gotta get Four Seasons AC out here now. Call them 407-295-9231. 407-295-9231. Four Seasons is the AC company you wish you called first.
CSC 056308. This is Sergeant Slayer. Attend. Today's orders are to go to WeKillFloridaBugs.com. Say it again. WeKillFloridaBugs.com.
WeKillFloridaBugs.com is home of Mighty Tech Pest Management. Get in touch with Mighty Tech today for residential and commercial pest control, termites, wildlife exclusion, and removal. And if mosquitoes are a problem, ask Mighty Tech about them as well. Call for a free evaluation today. 1-888-750-7378.
Say it again. WeKillFloridaBugs.com. Dismissed.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Back to You Have Power Radio with attorney Justin Clark.
Yeah, sometimes people ask me to do things over and over and over again, and finally I just say yes because I don't want to hear them ask me anymore. It's kind of like timeshare in some way. You say yes to the free couple of nights if you take the 90-minute tour, and then all of a sudden you're just so annoyed with the high-pressure sales that you say yes. Or maybe you're on vacation and you've had too many Coronas or Jack Daniels, and you say yes. And now all of a sudden you're a proud owner of a timeshare. Well, you're not proud very long because you will quickly learn timeshare is one of the worst investments a human being can buy. Mark Anderson is here. Sapphire timeshare cancellation. Credit is a big issue for people that come see you.
Absolutely.
How do you help protect their credit?
For sure. Now, like everything, nothing is perfect in this world. And when you're dealing with 3 independent reporting agencies, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, there has to be certain tactics that play. So, using federal laws in place, Fair Credit Reporting Act, FDCPA, Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, we use those laws in place to protect people's credit, ideally, on these accounts that are opened fraudulently, scammed. They're forced into these things, forced to open up credit cards with financial institutions. People could call it collusion at one level. So using those, targeting those accounts, disputing them, validity, and using other ways we do it, we can pull them pretty quick.
Phone number, website for Sapphire timeshare cancellation?
407-362-7859, and then just SapphireTimeshareCancellation.com.
Good job today. Maybe what we should do, Briana, EC, I'll take you guys down for a little You Have Power radio party. We'll have 2 free nights because we're going to take the tour, and we'll go check it out for ourselves, right?
Absolutely.
You just want me to have a timeshare is what you're saying.
No, we're not buying one.
on
Absolutely not. All right, thank you so much for listening tonight. For Eric, Stacy, Briana, how are you?
Awesome.
Mick Dolan, if you're listening, pal, we hope you're having a good time at your 50th high school reunion. Unbelievable, Briana. I don't know much, but I do know one little tiny thing.
What's that?
I will see you right back here again tomorrow night on Florida Man Radio.